Japanese parenting secrets that build superior brain development before age 5. Why do Japanese children often show remarkable focus, emotional control, and independence before age 7? It's a question that researchers, educators, and parents around the world have been asking for decades. Because when you walk into an early childhood classroom in Japan, something feels different. The children are calmer, more patient, more capable of sitting with a task, working through frustration, and engaging with the world around them in a way that seems almost extraordinary for their age. Is it genetics? Is it culture? Is it something in the education system?
The answer, it turns out, is simpler and more powerful than most people expect. And by the end of this video, you will understand not just what Japanese parents do differently in those critical early years, but why it works at the level of the developing brain. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear could genuinely change the way you think about your child's first 5 years.
The most important window you will ever have. Here is what neuroscience has confirmed clearly and consistently over the past 30 years. The human brain develops faster in the first 5 years of life than at any other point in human existence. By age 3, a child's brain has already formed approximately 1,000 trillion synaptic connections, more than it will ever have again. By age 5, the brain has reached nearly 90% of its adult size. This is not a metaphor. This is biology. And what happens inside those years, the experiences a child has, the stimulation they receive, the habits that are built into their daily life, directly shapes the architecture of the brain they will carry for the rest of their lives. Japanese early childhood philosophy has understood something close to this for generations. Long before modern neuroscience had the language to describe it, Japanese culture had developed a set of daily practices, simple, consistent, deeply intentional, that happened to align almost perfectly with what we now know about optimal early brain development. There are 6 of them, and each one matters more than you might think. Habit 1. Protecting sleep like it is sacred. There are 6 of them, and each one matters more than you might think. In Japan, children's sleep is treated not as a convenience, but as a biological necessity that parents protect with real commitment. The cultural expectation is clear. Young children need 11 to 12 hours of sleep every night, and the household structures itself around that need, rather than asking the child to fit around adult schedules. This is not just good parenting instinct, it is neuroscience. During deep sleep, the brain is anything but resting. It is consolidating memories, taking the experiences of the day and transferring them from short-term storage into long-term neural networks. It is producing growth hormone, which drives physical brain development. It is regulating the stress hormone cortisol, which, when chronically elevated in young children, has been shown to actively interfere with the development of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and emotional control. A child who consistently sleeps 11 to 12 hours is not just a child who is less tired. They are a child whose brain is being given the daily biological conditions it needs to grow well. Every night of good sleep is, in a very real sense, a night of brain development. Habit 2. Nature as a daily curriculum. Walk past almost any Japanese preschool in the morning, and you will see something that has become increasingly rare in much of the modern world. Children outside, running, climbing, digging in soil, collecting leaves, moving their bodies through unstructured space without a screen in sight. Daily nature exposure is embedded in Japanese early childhood culture in a way that is both deliberate and deeply understood. And the research behind it is compelling. Time spent in natural environments has been shown to measurably reduce cortisol levels in young children, the same stress hormone that, when chronically elevated, impairs brain development. Nature engagement also strengthens the brain's attention networks. Studies consistently show that children who spend regular time outdoors demonstrate improved concentration, better impulse control, and greater cognitive flexibility than those whose early years are spent primarily indoors. There is something else happening too, something harder to measure, but equally important. When a child navigates uneven terrain, observes an insect, or experiences rain for the first time, they are making millions of micro-decisions. They are engaging their senses. They are learning, at the neural level, how to process and respond to a complex, unpredictable world. That is not play. That is brain building. Habit 3. A deliberate pause before screens. Japan has one of the most technologically advanced societies on Earth. And yet, Japanese early childhood guidance has long encouraged parents to significantly limit screen exposure in the first years of life, not out of technophobia, but out of a clear-eyed understanding of what young brains actually need. The concern is not moral, it is developmental. A screen delivers content at a pace, intensity, and level of stimulation that the young brain did not evolve to process. When a toddler's visual and auditory system is flooded with rapidly changing images and sounds for hours each day, the brain begins to calibrate itself to that level of stimulation. Real life, which is slower, quieter, requires more patience, begins to feel inadequate. Attention spans shorten. The tolerance for boredom, which is actually the tolerance for self-directed thought, diminishes. Language development is also affected. Children learn language through responsive, face-to-face interaction. A screen talks at a child. It does not respond to them, adjust to them, or teach them the back-and-forth rhythm that is the foundation of all human communication. The research is consistent. Children with high early screen exposure show measurably slower language development than those whose early years prioritize human interaction. The Japanese approach is not to eliminate technology. It is to let the brain develop its own capacities first, before introducing tools that might short-circuit that process. Habit 4. The neuroscience of playing with your hands. In Japanese kindergartens and homes, sensory motor play, physical, hands-on, whole-body exploration, is not treated as a break from learning. It is understood to be the primary mode of learning in the early years. Climbing, running, building with blocks, kneading dough, threading beads, balancing on uneven surfaces. Each of these activities sends rich sensory information flooding through the nervous system and into the brain. And with each repetition, the neural pathways associated with coordination, spatial reasoning, problem-solving, and fine motor control are strengthened. There is a concept in neuroscience: neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time a child engages in physical, hands-on exploration, they are literally building the brain. The child who has spent thousands of hours in active sensory motor play arrives at formal learning with a nervous system that is organized, integrated, and ready. The child who has spent those same hours sitting still or watching a screen has missed a window of neural development that is genuinely difficult to recover. Japanese parents and educators understand this. The hands are not separate from the mind. In the early years, they are the mind's primary instrument. Habit 5. The power of the conversation. There is a concept researchers call serve and return. When a child makes a sound, a gesture, or an expression, and a caregiver responds directly and warmly, the brain registers that interaction and strengthens the neural circuits associated with communication, social bonding, and emotional regulation. This back and forth, repeated thousands of times across the early years, is the biological foundation of language and emotional intelligence. Japanese parenting culture places extraordinary value on face-to-face, responsive communication with young children. Parents narrate the world to their children. They ask questions. They listen to the answers with genuine attention. They get down to the child's physical level and make eye contact. They treat the child's attempts at communication as worthy of a real response. This is not just warmth. This is neural architecture being built in real time. Research from Harvard's Center on the Developing Child confirms that the number of back-and-forth conversational exchanges a child experiences in their early years is one of the strongest predictors of language ability, academic success, and emotional health later in life. Not the number of words they heard, the number of exchanges they participated in. Talk with your child, not at them, with them.
Habit 6. Character before curriculum.
Perhaps the most counterintuitive of all the Japanese early childhood practices, at least to Western eyes, is this. Formal academic instruction is largely delayed until age 6 or 7. Before that, the focus is on something else entirely. Character, discipline, empathy, independence, social skills, the ability to manage frustration, to take care of one's own belongings, to contribute to a group, to persist through difficulty without falling apart. This is not an absence of ambition. It is a profound understanding of sequence. The brain structures that govern academic learning, sustained attention, working memory, cognitive flexibility, are built on a foundation of emotional regulation and executive function. A child who cannot manage their emotions, sit with discomfort, or work alongside other children cannot learn effectively, regardless of how much academic content they have been exposed to. Japanese early education is not delaying success. It is building the conditions under which success becomes possible. What the Western world sometimes gets backwards. There is a growing pressure in many Western countries to begin formal academic instruction earlier and earlier. Flashcards for toddlers, reading programs for 2-year-olds. The belief that earlier exposure to academic content produces smarter, more successful children. The neuroscience does not support this. What the research shows, clearly and repeatedly, is that the children who thrive academically in the long term are not those who were exposed to the most academic content the earliest. They are the children who arrived at school with strong emotional regulation, healthy attention spans, rich language foundations, and the social skills to function in a learning environment. The brain does not build from the top down. It builds from the bottom up. And the first 5 years are not a race to academic readiness. They are the construction of the foundation upon which everything else will eventually rest. The truth about how brains actually grow. Brain development does not happen by accident. It does not happen through expensive toys, early tutoring programs, or curated enrichment schedules. It happens through small daily habits, repeated consistently over time. 11 hours of protected sleep, night after night. 30 minutes in the garden, morning after morning. A conversation at the dinner table, evening after evening. A parent who puts the phone down, gets on the floor, and plays. A preschool that values kindness before arithmetic. These things feel small. They are not small. They are the architecture of a human mind being built one ordinary day at a time.
The Japanese understood something that neuroscience is now confirming in laboratory after laboratory around the world. The greatest gift you can give a young child is not a head start in academics. It is a childhood that is safe, stimulating, connected, and consistent. A childhood where their brain is given exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. That is what shapes the focus, the resilience, the emotional intelligence, and the quiet confidence that we notice in those children, and wonder how it got there. Now you know.
If this video gave you something worth keeping, please share it with a parent who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below telling us which of these 6 habits you want to bring into your home. We read every one. If you want more content like this, subscribe to this channel. There is so much more ahead. Your child's brain is being built right now. Make it count.